Nqobile, you've had a conversation with South African brewers. What is their feeling today?
Well, at this point, Thembekile, they're saying that they've lost about 30% of their yearly production. They've lost about 90 days of selling. And though they can't quantify the amount of loss because you will see it much later on, but it's enough for them to decide that, hang on, we can't invest now. And also it's enough for them to relook at not just 2020, but also the 2021 investment into the country. SAB says it is committed to keeping the job, but there is a breaking point, and the company can only go so long without revenue. But let's just hear what Andrew had to say.
We've had now over 90 days of not being able to sell within the calendar year so far. We don't have line of sight for when we'll be able to sell again. And so the projections for our ability to grow changed dramatically. And so that's why those investments have been canceled for 2020. So we canceled 2.5 billion rand worth of investments in this year, and that's investment that won't come back this year. And we continue to review what our investment horizon and decisions will be for 2021. Because again, we need to forecast where we'll be and what type of investments we can put into the country.
And I'm battling a bit with my voice, not because I've not had a beer in a while, but I want to ask you about the jobs. Do we have specifics, Nqobile, as far as the numbers of jobs that are going to be affected in the alcohol industry by this?
Well, Thembekile, I just want to take you back first. You'll remember that on the 200 billion drive that the president was doing, they promised about 412,000 jobs that would be created. Now, these were direct jobs. Now, they are either indirect jobs that we're going to come in after that 412,000 jobs. Now, the issue here is that with the pledges, when people were pledging and they were saying this is how much we can do, we had the beer companies like Heineken and SAB that came forward also and said this is how much we pledging. Now, if they're taking back their investment, which we know at this point might amount to about 11 billion, that means those are the jobs that we're supposed to translate on the ground. That 11 billion was supposed to be on the ground, the jobs that would be created. Now, that's basically the amount of jobs that have been affected. But also at the same time, we do understand that Heineken says they were going to explore, or rather go to KZN, where they were going to open up a brewery. But now, because of the ban, they have to relook at their investment, and therefore that's one of the things that is being halted. But let's just take a listen to the Heineken.
We want to make sure that all Heineken South Africa brands that are consumed in South Africa, they are produced in South Africa. And so part of our plans was to explore an additional brewery in KZN, and due to the ban and also the economic climate that we find ourselves in the country, we had to put those plans on hold.
Exactly how many jobs would that brewery had given South Africa?
The brewery, based on our business case, we were looking at about 400 jobs that were going to be created. And of course, behind those 400 jobs, we're looking at about 1,200 additional indirect jobs that were going to be created through our service partners.
ENC reporter Nqobile Madlala summing up that reaction from the alcohol industry, reflecting on its losses as a result of the lockdown.